we go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity to show up, and specifically today, to consider expectations, right? Very much from this perspective that if there are such a thing as an unreasonable expectation that you can have of another person or of yourself, then surely there are reasonable expectations to have of other people and to have of yourself. As I was considering today's stream topic during the yoga, today was a silent practice, so I actually had some time to think. I thought to myself how, as we show up for the things we expect of ourselves, we end up raising the bar of expectations in our minds, right? And then the higher that bar of expectation raises, the more likely it is that we will expect things of people that would be unreasonable, right? And I think of it from the perspective of relationships, especially how maybe in a relationship there are energies, right? You're expected to perform a certain task, to play a certain role in that moment. And as you do that, you show yourself just how capable you are of meeting the challenge, right? Of seeing the expectation through. And in doing so, again, your bar raises to what you would expect of your partner or to the person you are in a house with, for example, right? And I wonder if it just keeps raising, right? Do the expectations only increase indefinitely? If I look at society and the relationships I've paid attention to, it seems like the expectation only keeps growing. Or at the very least, maybe the expectation stays the same, but the nature of the expectation changes, right? For instance, maybe an expectation from one person to another would be that they're supposed to be a financial provider, right? Thinking about my mom and my dad's relationship. My mom married my dad knowing he's an engineer, right? Like that was a part of his sales pitch, to say it in so many words, right? One of the things that my dad tells my mom when they meet one another is that he's an engineer. And in South Africa, it is one, very expensive to get a degree, and two, it's hard to be smart enough to get that degree, and three, if you do end up getting the degree, more likely than not, you should be a high earning citizen of this country, right? And in part, that might have been true for my dad, but at the same time, it is hard getting work right now, at least, you know? So there has been this expectation, at least from what I've seen when it comes to like my personal observations and the conversations I've listened to, of my mom expecting my dad to be the provider in that way, right? Like she married, and she's literally said this word for word verbatim. I married an engineer, right? When the perspective or the conversation of finances come into the fray, right? Like, yeah, I married an engineer. I'm not supposed to be worrying about these money issues. And even though that might have been the case, that was my mom's expectation from the very start of the relationship. And I do believe that my dad should have at least in part known that, right? Like in our culture, a stay-at-home wife is not a rare occurrence, right? It's not strange. It's to be expected, you know. Like we are very conservative Christian households here, where people still believe women's only function is to raise children, and my mom did, right? If my dad had that expectation of my mom to raise his children, my mom followed through with that expectation, right? So is it unreasonable for her to expect things in return? Is it the expectation in and of itself that causes us tension, right? The fact that there are expectations in the first place. And again, for me, the thing I'm trying to get at least in my own mind, is instead of seeing the expectations as wrong, I want to measure whether or not the expectations are reasonable, right? That gives us room to play with. That gives us something to work towards, right? Something we can do about it. It is so nice having you here with me, brother Josh Mo. Blessings to you, Lovizana is here too. You are beautiful and you are bountiful and you are bodacious. Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And with that in mind, I am going to inhale strawberry fields. Strawberry fields will be inhaled. I have some pineapple chunks. I have some strawberry fields. Uh, I finished the huckleberry. Right. But it seems and I have some mango. That's another fruity one. Sour diesel. It's not really fruit. Yeah. I think those are all of my fruity strains. To strawberry fields, to being bodacious, to being beautiful, to being bountiful, to being capable of heeding, following through with all of my reasonable expectations. It's nice having you friends here. I see Joy Vive and Jovan with us as well. Raising our own awareness and productivity. And in turn, we expect others to see us eye to eye. Good topic, right? It is an interesting dilemma. Is it a dilemma? A dynamic? It's the whole fractal of growth, right? If two people, there we go, live again. One of the people is growth centric with their actions, right? And the other person might not be. Even though they still love each other, even though they still care for one another, there will be this sense of dissonance as one of them continues to grow their room for what is reasonable to expect. And if the other person doesn't grow that room as well, it's like the expectations are misaligned, right? And it's hard. It's hard. What do you do in that fractal? Do you encourage your friend to work harder? Do you continue doing what you're doing and let them be as they are? Do you remove yourself from that experience in order to continue growing with people that will follow through with the reasonable expectations you think you have? I don't know. I really don't know. Uh, I think it's maybe one of those it depends kind of fractals. If the other person's lack of willingness to meet expectations clashes with your ability to meet expectations, maybe that's when it's not okay or something. I see the topic looks like ass again. It must be Sunday. I don't get it, Joy Vive. I'm so close to the Wi-Fi, right? Like I would be able to hit the Wi-Fi modem with a rock right now if there was no building in the way. I see I only have 3 bars. Maybe it's the tree. Maybe if I move you a little bit to the side. But it really does bother me. Like I'm not supposed to be facing these problems anymore, right? Is it unreasonable for me? Is it an unreasonable expectation that the internet I pay for works? Or is it just me being too far away from the internet? Maybe the unreasonable expectation is me with range. I like the shot though. I do like this shot. Maybe it's better. Yeah, it is better. It's bettering right now. Actively, it's getting better. I can feel more pixels sneaking through. Everything outside of eating, sleeping, and shizing is a choice you choose to accede to others' expectations of you. No, not really, right? Nobody expects me to shower. Nobody expects me to shower, but I would consider it a reasonable expectation if somebody expected that of me, right? Because if I don't shower, I will start accumulating body odor, and then that body odor will inevitably end up influencing, affecting those around me. So them having that expectation of me seems very reasonable, right? You can say I am acceding, right? Bending the knee to the other person because of their expectations. But again, I believe that's a reasonable one. So it's not an expectation, almost, right? It's just one of those things. That's the way I'm trying to reason today, Sam. It's like getting ourselves past that fractal of feeling like some sort of injustice is being committed when we're asked. Nintendo melt. Am I still pixelated? Why though? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Let me close it off. I hope it's better. But let me show you this. I just put my hand in front of the Wi-Fi modem or between the camera and Wi-Fi modem and it bonked out again. There we go. Hey dear friends, bless you. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, you are loved. Thank you. I didn't expect you to be here. I didn't. But you probably expected me to be here. And that would be a reasonable expectation to have. Right? Right? Surely? Right? Love is true. Okay. Nobody expects me to shower. They absolutely do. No, I'm saying like from an expectation perspective, right? Hey Google, define expectation. Expectation. A strong belief that something will happen or be the case, right? Maybe they'll expect me to shower because they've noticed that that's something I do regularly, right? I have a pattern of getting ready, and showering is a part of that expectation, of that pattern kind of vibe, right? But if I don't shower, people aren't going to be like, oh no Mel, I expected you to be showered now suddenly my world is falling apart. No, that's not necessarily how it is, right? Maybe the other one, no, that's it. A strong belief that something will happen, that's an expectation. A strong belief that something will happen. And again, I feel like the whole reasonable versus not reasonable comes back in. Cigar, I don't think I've seen that name before, but bless you, friend. Let me bring myself back to chat, see how far I'm away from the present. Let's see if I can go to all messages instead. There we go. Cigar, I don't either, and I'm glad to see you're still doing this amazing commitment, man. Bless. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you friends don't have to expect it of me, right? You can expect it of me. It would be reasonable, again, right? A strong belief that something will happen. You can have a strong belief that Melt will stream tomorrow again, right? That doesn't affect whether or not I will. That's the point I'm trying to make, at least with today's stream topic of the energy. My stream seems to be melting the poor interwebs. And now you're back, Cigar. We chatted back when you were in the 800/900 days. Bless. It's nice to have you here again, friend. Humans who live in a society bathe. We have an unspoken expectation that you not show up in public smelling like an old cheese and amper socks. Yes, yes. But why is it unspoken, right? I feel it's the reason it's unspoken is because it has transcended expectation. It has become reasonable. Usually, maybe at some point in our human experience, it wasn't reasonable for you to expect another person to have bathed because they might not have had access to a bath. They might not have access to water, running water or not. They might not have had access to soaps or stuff that made them smell nice, right? So for the longest time, on some level, there was no expectation for a person to be showered. You might comment on them stinking, but you didn't expect them to not stink, right? At some point in our experience. And then something shifted. As we brought the modernity into our lives, right? As we had baths and showers in our houses, relatively expectedly so, right? Like you could expect the person when they build a new house to have a bath or a shower in it as well. It has become an unspoken expectation for a person to be clean, right? But what happened? What happened in the meanwhile? Why is that? Is it because it's reasonable? Or is it because it is not rude? I believe it's for reason. I think it's reason, right? But this is me. This is my bias. I'm a very reason-based entity. I try and reason with myself all the time. So I'm gonna Stop reasoning as to why I'm not vaping this and just do it. Love is true. Thank you, universe. At all. But this tastes nice. This makes it better. I can, I can deal with unstable internet. If I have some of this, man. If you started being a certified stinky boy, your housemates would actually expect you to shower. Yeah, rightly so. It would be very reasonable for them to expect such a thing. But if they expected me to start doing triple backflips when I wake up in the morning, now suddenly there's an unreasonable expectation, right? And today's stream topic, for me at least, is trying to get us to think about what we define as reasonable or not, and why we define them as reasonable or not. I feel like the whole bathing analogy is good because it gives us a view. Because again, we find ourselves in a society right now where access to running water is more regular than it's ever been before. So the ability to clean yourself is as well. We can follow the chain of reasoning and understand why something should be or shouldn't be the way that it is. But sometimes we don't reason with ourselves. Sometimes we see a responsibility and start kicking against it sheerly because we see it as a responsibility, right? We don't think for a second whether or not this responsibility is reasonable, this expectation is reasonable or not. We just see the expectation, the responsibility. Yeah, this thing just disconnected again. I'm gonna try and move because this is causing me tension. Maybe I'll move myself there. Saturday is shower day, goodness. I don't shower every day in the winter. In the summer, I might shower multiple times a day. Yeah, I shower once a day. That's my schedule. I usually get ready around 3. I shower, I get dressed, I do my hair. The internet is so bad. Why is it like this? Am I on... My Wi-Fi is working. I'm gonna have to make some missions and carry my things bit by bit. But this is causing me some anger. Let's see if I put myself down here if it's gonna be better. One of these legs are too long. Is it better already? The range is better. Okay, back in 1 second. Let me show you where I'm walking. Did that work? I sure hope so. I sure do hope so, sir. Please. Please, how close do I have to get to ye? Let me see if I can bring you guys a little bit closer. I don't think you'll hear me fine there. There we go. Better? Please tell me. I'm gonna restart starty and see if it also helps. New spot. Yeah. I mean, the new spot helps change the energy up a little bit as well, so I'm not really complaining. I just wish it wasn't that big of a deal, right? I feel like if I have 3 bars of Wi-Fi, I should have 3 bars of Wi-Fi. Kind of vibe, right? But I'm just weighing a little bit. Yeah, we chatted. Bless you again. Thank you for being back, friend. Sometimes I smell like socks. Sometimes I smell like daffodils. It's kind of like a roll of the dice. I try though. You mean where you live though, Joe? The rules are different for you, I think. People have always cleaned themselves. It's a myth that we started being clean when we discovered indoor plumbing. It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that people were probably less clean, right? They were washing themselves less regularly before we had indoor plumbing. That's what I'm saying. All right. And as that fractal, there is a possibility for you to not have that expectation of a person because it wasn't a part of your frame of reference kind of vibe, right? Maybe I'm a captain. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. It's more than likely. But I'm just sharing a perspective here. It is a medium to think about expectations. It's not really about bathing or not. I couldn't care less. I could care a lot if you're close enough to me that I can smell you, but you're not, right? So I care less. Hey, Heather is here. Bless you, friends. Nice seeing your name here with us. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Don't go telling people I said that though. I like uniformity, the different rules. Bless. I don't interact with humans very often. Maybe once a week I'll see a stranger. Yeah, that does change things. Lol, there is definitely an overuse of showering, and I agree. I shower when I work every day. If I don't have things going on and not sweating, no reason to waste the water. Yeah, I shower as a part of my process, right? It's cathartic. It's like stripping myself naked, having water run over my body. I've been cold showering, at least before I came here. There's no option to cold shower here because the pipe running water to our home is black and is in the direct sunlight for most of the day. And by the time I shower around 3 p.m., it is literally scorching. Like, and I mean scorching, like hotter than I am comfortable using hot water from a water heater or a geyser. So in the same way, I would cringe or uh, repel at the icy cold water. I would like rinse myself, get myself wet. I'm sorry, wash myself, rinse myself again, right? With the cold water. It's kind of like that again of the hot. There's the sense of, I don't know, uh, maybe just awareness, like a training of your awareness, a training of your sensitivity to your environment, right? Feeling something on your skin and reacting actively to it. Getting out of the shower, getting ready, combing my hair. My hair is way more mission than I would like for it to be. But the act of love, right? In growing something. So, and then I come and do my yoga, all right? So I feel like it's more for me of a pattern at this point than it is there's a reason for it. I feel like just with the amount of heat that's going on and with the yoga and I do dance, I do end up sweating more than I am comfortable with. So I'll shower anyway, right? Even if I didn't have the pattern. I feel like this is such a weird fractal to find ourselves within. Expectations, huh? Why am I why am I going down this rabbit hole? Do I expect myself to? Do I expect you to follow along? I don't know if this is very riveting. Maybe we should move on. Alright, double backflips only. I don't shower every day. Laugh again. Let's keep it in. It's going to be nice on myself to finally be moving back to the place where I will be open like that. And I can see the sky again. You have plans to cigar? Oh, I do remember your name. Suddenly it just came flushing back to me. Do you have any plans to move out of? Are you in the city right now? My fiance's grandfather to help take care of him up on the Canadian border. That does sound nice. Not the having to take care of your fiance's grandfather. And not that that won't be nice. I feel like I'm tripping out. Sounds like you'll be in a cool environment. Sounds like you'll be expected to do a lot of service. And I feel that will be good for you as well, dear friend. Bless you on this journey. I've been in the mountains my whole life. Nice. I need the sky. I need stars at night and cold rain. I used to live in the city and it was okay, I guess, but I could never live there again. Yeah, I've lived in Pretoria. I've lived in Huai'an. I've lived in Yangzhou. I've lived in Shanghai. 25 plus million human beings in a single city. Shanghai definitely did take me on rides mentally. I think I might have been the saddest there, weirdly enough. But I haven't lived in that many cities, relatively speaking. But all of the cities I've lived in do have a certain theme. You know, this sense of doing, which could be good, right? I feel like that in part is what cities are for. There's a lot of doing happening there, and that's why people go there, right? The money is there. All of the people doing stuff is there. So people are attracted to the cities, but you can live outside the cities, and then when doing needs done, find yourself in the cities again. I know that's not always easy or doable. Some people don't want to commute. Some people have more doing, right? They are expected to be in the city more than others. Maybe we'll change that too. Maybe that will become an unreasonable expectation. Expecting people to drive into the office, right? Yeah, manifest. Okay. Yeah, heat and all that. Be so bad for me. It is pretty hot in the city sometimes as well. I've been in mountains. Oh, Canada. I'm in California, cigar. I have not had a chance to explore Canada yet. It's a beautiful thing to be able to be with your grandpa. Fiance's grandpa, I think. Maybe still. Maybe he doesn't have a grandpa himself. I call myself a tropical critter. It's cold, but it's been the warmest winter ever. Where 5 years ago it was negative degrees outside. I like temperate climates. I wilt like a flower in the heat. Yeah, me too. Me too. But in a weird way, I find it challenging the same way exercises, right? Despite the fact that it's like 100 plus Fahrenheit day, I still did my yoga. I'm still doing my streams. I'm still trying to. I'm trying to make the most of it. And if you're wondering why I'm covered in this thing, because it's mosquito protection, an extra layer of barrier to entry. Canada seems cold. Yeah, probably is. I think about the nature of expectations. People will have them. Ideally, they align smoothly in relationships, but sometimes they are unfortunately realized slash formed in later rather than sooner. But either way, it's usually a good move to at least consider them once they're communicated. And sometimes it takes a while to process it. Sometimes it becomes a pattern. And there are more variables that play a role, like respecting boundaries and adaptability, consideration, compatibility, all kind of things. But like 200 characters. You beautifully said what I feel I was feeling. Thank you, Jean. Yeah. Processing. Taking a while to process it all. Considering expectations after they have been communicated. Weirdly enough, something that I would like to do in my relationships is confirm with the person I am communicating my expectations to that these expectations are reasonable or not. Right? That feels like an extra step I would like to take to make the expectations more clear. Does it create clarity? I feel it makes it easier to accept, to follow through with, to heed the expectation if you understand, right? I feel like, and again, this is what the stream topic started with. I feel like we are reasonable human beings, all of us. We just need to be reasoned with. And again, I feel reasoning is feminine in nature, right? The masculine is do this or else. Do this or else. I'll kill you, I'll stomp on you, I'll lock you up, I'll take your stuff away, etc., etc. That's the masculine. And again, it's a polarity, right? Energy of doing things. Where communication, right? The nurturing, the guiding towards, right? Like there are two fractals where a mother has two children playing games and she's asking them, maybe screaming at them in the first fractal to go and finish, their night shower or whatever and then get in bed. Stop playing that game and go and shower. And they don't listen to her, right? Because the masculine in those little boys are feeling the void of their current experience, right? They don't want change. Where another little bit more feminine approach, instead of just screaming the instructions at these children, is to, as they're playing their games, start drawing a bath full of water, right? Feeling if it's the right temperature. And then walking into the TV room, getting their attention, telling them that there is a nice and warm bath drawn for them, taking the liberty as a parent to turn off their console or whatever and shimmy them to the bath, right? In that fractal, instead of creating an instruction set, an expectation, right? You basically are a part of the expectation, right? If there was an expectation for your child to be able to bath, maybe it would be the fact that there is water in the bath, right? So you have participated in that expectation. And in doing so, it becomes a little bit more reasonable, right? Right? Maybe I'm naive. I probably will find out for myself if I have kids myself one day. But I would like to, and this is very much inspired by a conversation I had with Toasty. I got to see his little baby again. About how we don't want to continue the same patterns our parents did. The be nice or else versus be nice because, right? Reason versus instruction. Or maybe not instruction even, order, right? And technically, you cannot have order without reason. But it's very hard to get people to follow your orders if there is no reason. And I feel, unfortunately, within the capitalist society we find ourselves within right now, that switch is going off for a lot of us. We are starting to ask, well, what is the reason? Why? Why are we rushing towards infinite growth when it comes to our capital needs? Right? We find ourselves on a finite planet. We find ourselves in a society that now is going to see a population decline. Right? So what's the point? What's the reason for infinite growth if we cannot even figure out how to take care of the people that we have? Maybe as we enter the society that we are trying to create right now, and I do believe the individual human being is going to have their value increase significantly so because of the declining population. We'll see within the next 10 to 30 years. It might even have already started, some estimates say, right? Because again, our current estimates of how many people there are on the planet, there are expectations attached to them, right? One of the expectations for certain states, right, is that the more numbers they have, the more seats they get, or the more votes they get as representatives. So there is an incentive all over the world on the microcosm level to fudge the numbers and estimate how many people there are. and that has been happening for a while now. So we might already have seen, because of this, like this dualistic fractal of the over-reporting of how many people there are, the raising, cost of living that makes it very unreasonable for people to have children. The internet giving us other things to do, right? Like we are exposed to so much more. We have different expectations of our lives, right? We are allowed different expectations of our lives than just the fractal of the nuclear family, right? Go to school, go to university, find a wife at university, marry her, start working, have kids, life done. Fractal achieved, right? That used to be a reasonable expectation. At least parents thought it was reasonable to expect that of their children. And as a result of that, as a result of us believing that it's reasonable, a lot of us did that. And now we find ourselves in this weird shift of like, is that reasonable? Is this the only reasonable option for us? And it will change things. It will change how we see ourselves, most importantly, how we expect of ourselves. There is technically even more left in this bowl. I think I've vaped this thing like 5 times. I've seen vapor 5 times. This is the best bud I have right now, so maybe I shouldn't be surprised. The strawberry fields. It came from Cape Town. It's a dude who grows a bunch of these strawberry fields, sativa plush bushes. We have neon is the loneliest color here today. Nancy with us too. Bless you, friend. It's nice having you. Da 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 da. I think I missed a few. And see Joe. For me, cold is easier for me to warm up. The heat, I can't cool off fast enough. I do get that. You know what? With that in mind, I am actually going to go and wet my scarf real quick because I am having a hard time dissipating heat. And a wet scarf will definitely help with that. I think I'll switch you around. You'll have to look at me through the trolleys. Have the jail experience. Be right back. I don't know if your friends have told me yet, or I just haven't gotten to the comments, but I do hope that the quality got better when we came and sat closer. There we go. Right. No cold, no sunlight, and salt water. We're just gonna. Yeah. This feels like I have an air conditioner strapped around my neck. Woo! Woo! Yeah! That little coldy bit. Yes. Suddenly I gotta do. Alright. Let me see where I'm at. You grow, you know. Okay, the temperature. I'm a ninja. Your sunlight and salt water. 100 plus down in Texas was tolerable only because it was dry heat. The humidity is too much to make things heavy. I mean, at least it is relatively dry heat here right now. It's like 33% humidity. So it's not unbearable. Like this is making a massive difference because most of the water is just getting away. Mm-hmm. I struggle to breathe in high humidity. Same. Feels like my favorite description of high humidity weather is like you're living in syrup, like hot syrup. Very much not a fun experience. All right. Here's an odd little fact. 5 out of 5 live streams across 3 platforms all struggled majorly with internet Wi-Fi issues. In the past 2 days, could it be towers? Something more widespread, maybe. I do believe we're getting hit by solar flares right now, actually. That might be closest to the reason we're experiencing some weirdness. But it's interesting to know that we're not the only ones experiencing difficulties. If you find yourself here by chance or by choice, thank you. Thank you. I never expect you friends to be here, right? From the perspective that it would be unreasonable to expect that. But the fact that you are here is greatly appreciated. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is some strawberry fields. I am going to vaporize, punch with a heat stick the THC out of it into my lungs with the intention of releasing unreasonable expectations of myself. Maybe I can identify one of those unreasonable expectations. I release the unreasonable expectation that I ought to always look absolutely perfect. Because goodness, if that isn't unreasonable, I don't know what is. I release you. Joy traveled and lived in a bunch of different places. Texas, I lived Lord West of Dallas, and these are nice. A cattle town called Naples. Yeah, joy, it definitely is a factor, as well as the breathing. The mountains are confining as well, so it will be nice in the farmland to go up there. Absolutely. We have so many mountains here around us, here in Hartis as well, dude. Yeah. Strawberry fields. The first taste is like all strawberry. The second one is like you have been slowly but surely eating away at the strawberry, and the strawberry was so good that you just continued on eating the green part of the strawberry as well. That's what it's like vaping that strain. How nice. Hey, Katie is here again. Bless you, friend. It's nice to have you. Mm-hmm. I was chatting with Duck yesterday about this week and how it's all gone sideways, Heather. He thinks it's the upcoming eclipse affecting everything. Yeah, cosmic energies do affect us, even if we don't realize how. And it would be unreasonable for us to expect each other to know that we're being influenced by these things at all times. Easy way of saying a lot of nothing, right? What do you expect of me? How do you, what are you expecting? There has been a lot of solar stuff the last week, and leading up to the eclipse will be interesting. This is true because it doesn't matter how long ago you left. It wasn't soon enough, or was it, Joe? I'm wondering, like, while all of this solar flare and stuff is happening, right? I have marijuana plants growing. So technically, on a very real level, the the energy that is being used to build the infrastructure, to build the chemical pathways, to then produce the THC that I would eventually like to inhale, it does have the information of all of those solar flares in it as well. And I wonder if that will influence my experience with these strains. It would be cool to know. I am super excited to find out with you, friends. Uh, because it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like the armpit of the US. Why I'm so vinegary with y'all. Kettletown Joe. Fascinating. Hey, Nancy, bless you again, friend. Yeah, that's all news. Wise women. Armpits of the country. And so much love and chant. I'm halfway through my cone. I rolled. When I started watching, we hope to grow up at the farm. I'm happy that you're embracing that experience, friend. I think you will. I think you'll grow a lot. Maybe you'll grow so much that you'll leave the farm again. Right? Who even knows? I look forward to finding out with you, friend. Do they taste like oppression? Yo, what's up, my homies? Hey, Katie. Bless you, friend. Jeez, Joe. We don't ask you if your weed tastes like Tallahassee, man. What is good? Looks like a nice day out in South Africa. Yeah, my plants love it. My plants are having a good time. Good time. Right. I, however, will not find myself in the sun. At least I try not to. My weed tastes like swamp flowers. Nice. Nice. That sounds great. Looks like a nice day out in South Africa. We're chatting about expectations today, Katie, amongst other things. Yeah. Just took a break from packing and found myself here this morning. It's a pleasure. Like I wonder about you friends that join us for a stream and then go back into the world and don't come back for what, 200s of days, 300s of days at this point. How much changes in that time? How does your expectations change in that time? Your expectations of yourself, very specifically, but also your expectations of the world. I'm trying to ask myself, do I expect more of the world now than I did when I started, or less? And I want to say more. I do want to say more. But I also want to say more of the world because I have come to expect more of myself. So maybe there is some sort of correlation there. I'm not sure, but maybe. Before spring, nice Rochester. Just below you, Zano. Zano is here. Yeah, love to you. It's snowing there for her. Melty, Melty, check out my new painting and share your work. Let me check it. Open my sesames. Mm, 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 mm. Share your work. I'm seeing some. Ooh, Zano portraits. Or are they landscapes? I should call them landscapes, right? They're not portraits. Portraits are of peepers. These are landscapies. That's so cool, Zano. And to you friends who are wondering, Zano paints these from her mind. She looks from her mind's eye and then makes these slices of reality that exist but don't exist. Only exist through the medium that is us, the watchers, and her, the creator of them. Thank you, Zano, for sharing with us, dear friend. That's super cool. I see Duck Dad has a bunch of babies exploding into the world as well right now. So much love in this. All right, let's get back to it. I'm currently smoking homegrown. That is doing the trick. I have some growing at home right now, dude, but it's still growing. It still has like between 2 and 4 weeks left, which is a lot of weeks, relatively speaking. With the amount of time I've spent working on them, I guess it's not that much. Yeah, nice. There's a pillar here that casts a perfect shadow. I believe, at least. There you go. All of the nature is making me kriebelrig, is the word we have in Afrikaans. It's like itchy, but it's more that itchy where you start feeling like things are walking on you. We have a word for that that goes ek voel kriebelrig. Kriebel. Kriebelrig. Right? Snaakserig. Kwaadterig. You can also add rig to just pretty much any emotional word. And it's like, I'm feeling this way, kinda. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry. I don't know. The weekend for us is going back down well below freezing, 12 to 16 degrees Fahrenheit. But I don't know what those words mean. I'm sorry. I need a good old scarf. Please do get yourself one, Katie. I think they're pretty cheap. They're like less than $10, $10 kind of vibes. At least from the places I've been looking. Thinking about making pasta al limon today. It turns out it's a very easy recipe, and we have lots of lemons. Bless. I don't know what pasta al limon is, but my sister, when she has an excess of lemons, juices those lemons and then boils them down, adds some sugar. I don't know if it's healthy necessarily, but it does taste good. Making lemonade that way. Now we're breaking up, friend. Oh, what just said? I got some Gerpel. I just rolled up. It says it is Slurty 3 and Gushman's mix. Gerpel. That sounds nice. Sounds very nice. You roll it yourself as well. Slurty 3 and Gushman's mix. Don't forget to sort by all. I do think I am sorting by all. I am. Maybe you can shave your hair. I did think about it as well. I did think about it. But I don't know what I would look like bald, right? When I imagine myself bald, I do this. I'm like, this is bald, right? I guess I could still rock it, right? I'll be fine. Looking at yourself like this, bro. Oh, the pain. Why? Why? Right? Like we never saw ourselves this much before technology, before modern mirror making techniques, before our cell phones. Right? We couldn't see ourselves this much. How has it changed us? How has it affected our expectations? Especially so when it comes to what we expect ourselves to look like. Right? That one is taking me down a whole rabbit hole right now. Let me roll myself back. My hair is the longest it's been in years currently. Joe says he misses his long hair. You can grow it. You want to grow it? Gonna grow it a little bit? It's not hot enough yet for me to consider shaving my head. Thanks for this. Thank you, Joshua. You're joining us, bro. You are this, right? There is no this without you being here for it. So I appreciate you for adding your beautiful soul to this experience, man. Relief from the heat. I sure look lovely just the way you are. You're making pretty to go out in the world, Katie. Have you started looking for your gerbs? Joe, tell my brain that I'm working on it. The universe be testing Mel's tolerance or something. Sheesh. He's not Goldilocks. Why too cold or too hot? Can't a man just have a lukewarm or, or cool shower? Yeah, I mean, weirdly enough, Heather, the way I get close to not scalding hot is by us not turning on our water heater. And then that volume of water heater water cooling down slightly between not being turned on, and then that water is colder than the scorching heat coming from the pipe directly. So I add I I add what is supposed to be hot water to my cold water to make it colder. And it's like it's kind of ironic. It is kind of funny. And again, I'm not complaining about this whatsoever, not even a little bit, right? Because it is such an energy saver. Like we are saving kilowatts, right? Like between 2, 3, and 4 even kilowatts a day, not heating our water as much because it is hot from the sun, which is, in my mind, feels nice. Being like, yeah, good, good hot water, plus not having to pay for it. You know, what more can I ask for? How's the joint? Do hope it's treating you well. I'm thinking about unexpected expectations. Those take time, but I think they get less squishy with time. Yeah, I think one of the fractals of unexpected expectations is, again, you mentioned it beautifully of like learning things about yourself in the relationship as you're going, right? Like there are things that are realized only later, and then it's suddenly you're not you weren't expecting such expectations from yourself or from the other person. I think I should shower. The problem is the cats don't judge, so it's up to me to set my own standard of cleanliness. Don't the cats judge if you pet the cats, right? Maybe you should test that, Joy Vive. Maybe you should spend like 5 days not showering, right? And then you try petting your cats and see if they instantly ferociously start licking themselves to get whatever you just put on them off of themselves, right? And then you like scale it back to like 3 days, and then 1 day shower frequency, and then you see, if they judge. I'm of course joking and prodding, but love is true. It's up to you. For me, I expect myself to always be taking care of other people, and I don't leave any room for my own growth. I don't need to hold everyone up at the same time. It's okay to take time for yourself. To be selfish isn't always bad. Yeah, having balance is hard in this life for most things, unfortunately. That's at least how I try to see it. That there are rooms I can compartmentalize my life so that I can be both. I don't know if that's healthy, but it does work for my masculine mind to compartmentalize. Hey Google, is compartmentalization healthy? When used appropriately, compartmentalizing can be a healthy coping mechanism. On the other hand, repression often leads to unresolved emotional issues and poor mental health. Compartmentalizing itself is not innately harmful. Okay, good. Yeah, good. You can compartmentalize appropriately. Cute little boxes in your own mind for the different things you have in your life. Realizing that even though they're in little boxes inside your mind, they're still inside your mind, right? So the uncompartmentalizable aspect of all of the compartments, or something like that. Melty actually inspired me to start taking cold showers. There's something about it that snaps your world back into focus. Yeah. They're almost meditative when you get used to it. Never used to. But I love cold showers now. They are very effective. Thank you. I have been missing that part of the cold shower experience, weirdly enough. Because it very much is like a zing. Like a suddenly your neurons are very much tuned. Because the way you can think of it from like a neurochemical perspective, apparently, is that it was seen as dangerous for you to be in cold running water as a body, right? As a body that needs to be producing heat and eat food in order to continue producing heat, it is dangerous for you to be in cold running water because that is actively stripping heat from you. The feeling of cold isn't actually a, a, a property of the water, right? The water's molecules are just moving faster or slower, right? But as that slow moving molecules hit your body, the fast moving molecules that is your heat, right, get stripped away by those molecules. And then your body goes, this is dangerous. Stop doing this, right? Get out of the water, survive, or whatever. And then you go through that cold experience and you have to sometimes start breathing as the cold water hits your body to just cope with the cold water experience happening to you. And then you get out of that, right? Completely fine, completely alive. And then your body slash brain rewards you with dopamine, right? Telling you, good job. You got out of the cold. We will survive because you didn't die. And then that experience lifts your whole perspective, right? You get to be more engaged. It can, I don't want to sell cold showers to you, but it can feel very much like an empowering experience. You feel very good about yourself directly after it. And sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to feel a little bit good about ourselves. That's about the growing and the solar flare stuff affecting it. I was wondering that too. Interesting question to ask, Cigar. We'll see. We'll see when this season's bud comes off, dude. I know a lot of people who do solar plunges, polar plunges daily, but I can't do it. I can't breathe thinking about it. That's kind of part of the point, right? Showing yourself that you can breathe despite this extremely uncomfortable experience, right? In my mind, it teaches you how to breathe through extremely uncomfortable experiences, even if you find yourself in those in your day-to-day life. I feel that a little bit. It's intense, but for sure. Our weed tastes like pine needles most times. Yeah, pinene is a very present terpene right now. Piney weed, like a jolt of awakening. Am I the only one not seeing comments that Melt is reading? There is a top comments and an all comments, little tabby up top. He takes time with older comments. He's about a year, was about a year, and the amount has changed. Was I thought now after 40 years, it finally feels okay. I don't know what that comment means. Oh, it's been a year. Technically, it's been a year since AI became a thing as well. And he says the amount has changed that he thought would have changed in 40 plus years. And it finally feels okay. Maybe that's what he's saying. I think so. He's way behind Heather, and YouTube won't allow us to scroll to the top of the comments anymore. Wow. Nice paintings. Bless. Love is true. We're going to play some happy little trees over there. Just for fun. Zano, the mind blower, nano bird. After I growing. I just can't with my cats. Yeah, I heard that people's cats can be problematic. Bob Ross, you're a legend. They've broken 3 stems and I'm losing my mind. I'm so sorry. Cats love messing with wheat plants, apparently so. Katie, my boy loves fresh leaves and went after our plants the first time. Yeah. My cats have never been too interested in my weed plants. They'll be with me in my garden, right? While I'm taking care of my plants back home. They'll be like chilling with me in the space. But they won't mess with my plants. I think if you have indoor cats, or maybe you're in like a garden area, maybe that tree is so significant because it's so you they're noticing suddenly you're like really taking care of this plant. But I try to take care of more than just those plants in my home environment. mm Same, Katie. We, when pruning the plant, would give them the trimmings and it makes them happy. You know something crazy? I don't think I've actually seen a weedy plant before. I've only seen dry bud. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Bruh, I don't think I'll be able to show you any big weed plants just yet now. Time waits. I've shown you some weed plants on stream at least a few times. I would like to go home. The weedy plants growing at home right now are very pretty. It is nice. One of the things that I would like you to experience, Joe, is actually just the smell, right? As they're in that flowering stage, being able to come up close to those buds and smell them is quite something. Mm. So much lovins. Lemon and garlic and pasta. So good. Same, Katie. Me, when pruning the plant, we give them the trimmings and make them happy. Bless again. Never seen a tree that's pretty impressive. Also, like, I'm also like, what the fuck right now? I can't wait for the first time I see one in 3D. Maybe we'll even be able to grow one, right? I know in your state it's probably not legal, but there could be a fractal, you know. You could put a seed in the ground or something, and I'll make sure it stays alive. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be. Could still actually work. Yeah, sounds like a natural water heater. If you could capture that from night, though, the day would be awesome. Exactly. I've misread it so much lately. So many individuals drifting in different directions, and I get attached. Maybe that's why I try to keep arm's length. I get it, Heather. I really do get it. It is attached. To say it in so many words. It hurts sometimes. Yeah, it's part of the whole melty fractal, right? Something that is molten can be both attached and stretchable, viscous, right? Like glass. If glass is super molten, you can stretch it to the point where it's as thin as, like thinner than hairs, even. It becomes very brittle and can easily shatter, turn into dust. But still, right, if it stays molten, technically it can come back together. They look like magic. Do Jovan, I do have any big ones yet, but when they start to get lofty, I'll send some pics. Nice, please do, Joshmo. We do have a Lost in the Weeds fractal. How much tank can the cats take? Did I miss the part where they told us where the hell we've been? Love is true. Sound like an ego. Here's my trauma box. Hey Simon, it's nice seeing your name, friend. Hi Simon. Yay. Shell, you're here too. I've been thinking about you today, Shell. Me and the homies started playing Skyrim together, right? And I know that sounds like each of us are playing Skyrim together, but no, it's a mod called Skyrim Together. And we're three dudes, three Kayits as a posse, you know, running around. I'm like a destruction magic dealer, fire magic. Surprise, surprise. John is a cleric, like healer, and Max is like a warrior, like swordy dude. So it's been good fun, you know. And I was like thinking about you, Shell, and the fact that you've been playing Skyrim. I like to try spell burp sounds. I feel like the one like a troll goes. I can't hear. One of the little burpees. Maybe that's the one you're listening to. How much of the car sounds do you hear when I'm sitting here? I wonder if I get the microphones, it will get better. The wallowing in a hole. What? In my own depression, exacerbated by overthinking, anxiety, and fears of abandonment. Sorta kidding, but not all the same. Just missing friends and feeling alone. You are never alone. All of us are but a thought away. Right, Heather? You can sit in that moment completely alone in your space, in your bed, right? And just take a second to think about all of the people that love you, all of the people that had loved you, all of the people that could still love you going forward, all of the people in this space. Me, you can expect that I'll be here by my 4 p.m. the next day, right? You'll never be alone again, Heather. We are no more than a thought away, dear friend. I see Kristen here with us too. Bless you, friend. It's nice having you. Making sure I don't miss anybody else. The cane frogs are in season right now, and I have a small community of them that lives behind the house. The birds and the frogs are singing to us a concert every single night. It's quite lovely. My one-eyed cat is watching your stream with me. Bless you, little kitty. Heather, we're here. You don't have to join in, but we can always lurk. I'm sorry to hear you've been feeling so alone. You feel like dissecting any of this for the class, Heather? If you're willing to, guys. You're so loved. I know that you were real life. I know that your real life has big challenges, and I know you're an amazing person. We deserve a friend like you, especially. So much love. Joe has a squirrel friend who listens in on stream with him sometimes. You were so loved, Heather. So many people are like letting you know right now. Thank you, friends. You are always welcome to seek companionship here. We got some fun stuff to talk about sometimes. Bless. Sending you lots of comfort. She just had a clutch of babies. Bless. I haven't seen here for a couple of days because she's out doing her mama things. I'm sure she'll be back soon. Bless that, bro. By the way, how's your dog Mel? Pippi is doing well. I got to see her when I went back home for a while a few weeks ago. She's doing well, healthy, still happy to be on the farm. She really did miss me. Like she was like crying, happy to see me again. Melt, you're probably right about the cats and them. With a focus on what you're taking care of, focus away from them for. Yeah, exactly. I have a friend who breeds weed and all the different kinds. He has an he has the ones he has are amazing. They're gorgeous. You should ask him to give you some clones so you can grow them or something. Like a properly established clone. Ask him for some probably properly established clones, and then keep them in like a grow tent, zipped up away from your plants. That's gonna be the best weed you can grow for yourself, Katie. If he's breeding like that. I missed your message earlier, but I always smile when I see your username here. Bless. Kind and sincere. We all struggle with loneliness and how to connect, and we want you to have the peace in your heart of knowing we're with you all the time. You have access to our love 24/7. No more than a thought away. I like how me and Shell is like sharing the same fractal, but from different perspectives, and I like yours as well. The access at all times, 24/7 access. What's up with Turtle Joe? Do you take turns sitting on their eggs? If it weren't for Reddit, none of us would be here. It's true. I mean, at least most of us. Loses control and takes a bite of the first wheat plant I see. Weirdly enough, I have done that. You can pinch off like small little, like the little calyxes, I think they're called, that aren't attached to buds, but just kind of like to the side branches. They get very crystally, and just like nipping on one of them can be very fruity, right? It's kind of nice. I don't know if you're gonna like take full bites of it, but for taste maybe. Joy, if the tortoise mama digs a hole, kind of like a sea turtle does, she drops the little eggaroos and burrows them again. They don't end the best, really. The enclosure is secure and they stay close. I don't play a lot of games, but usually Overwatch or Apex or Battlegrounds, Battleground 4. I feel like I feel like I instantly aged, into like my mid 50s with the the battleground for? Is it battleground? Why do I feel so old when I say battleground? I don't know why. It kind of hurts me because maybe I haven't been playing games enough. I've been trying. I've been trying to get with the kids again. I'm playing Skyrim. Weirdly enough, the last time I played Skyrim, I was 14. So a decade has passed. And more than a decade has passed. And there is a sense of touching that that sense of exploration again. I had it in The Witcher as well, and I'm kind of stuck. I don't know how much of it I'll do, but some at least. Mm-hmm. Joy Beef, the tortoise mama digs a hole, kind of like sea turtles. I think I've read that one already. Yeah. 3K Jeet selling illegal shoe. uh, I'm working on changing my way of thinking, Shell. I don't want to only share love and energy when I know it will continue. I guess that's the thing. We never know how long things will continue or something. That's true. That's true, Heather. But again, what is your expectation when it comes to the sharing of love? When you share love, is your expectation, I am going to indefinitely receive love in return from this person I'm sharing love with? Or is your expectation, I am going to share love? Because one expectation is reasonable. If your expectation in sharing love is, I want love to be shared, then that will happen. However, if your expectation is sharing love with a person, or with a thing, or with a career choice, with a job, is that this will indefinitely give me love in return, that is unreasonable. Because things change, people change, you change, and that's okay. So maybe that could be one way for you to look through the whole fractal of how we can change our minds. Simon made Sami, what up? Is Simon here? Or are we just talking about him right now? Simon is here from England though. Not our Simon from the Netherlands. But bless. Thank you, Xiao, for blessing me with 1111. Her 10th super on a live stream. Yes. That is 10 more than I've ever posted in this live stream. Thank you. I wonder if I can. Is that money laundering if I give myself money? Can you launder money that way? Why am I asking these questions? I'm sorry. Oh, no, 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 no. You fixed. She has a notched ear. Makes me think that she might have been caught before. Might make sense. My mate Sami. Can I get a shout out to my mate Sami, please, Mel? Simon's mate Sami. What up? Oh, there we go. That's... I like how Jovan made extra sure that the shout out happens properly. Thank you, Joan. Bless you, Simon. Baldur's Gate, not Battleground. Okay, Baldur's Gate. Maybe that's why I felt old in saying that, because it was wrong, and there was a level of cringe that you were experiencing in me saying it wrong. Like, no, Dad, it's not Battleground, it's Baldur's Gate. Come on, Dad. Simon pops and streams sometimes. He's doing well. He is. He really is doing well. Shell, I know that was for someone else, but I need to see/hear that as well right now. So thank you. Thank you, Cigar, for reading, friend. It was here last month. I hate to tell you this, but you're going to have to say something backwards 3 times in the mirror to get rid of me. I came here in such pain a year ago. Believe in yourselves, broken-hearted people. You are enough. You are worthy. We love you. We love you too, dear Shell. Thank you for reminding us. If y'all aren't in, please join the Discord. The link's in Mel's Reddit profile. It's in my YouTube profile as well. I think you can find it directly if you go on the About section. If you click on Meltmore, and then you go up top. Yeah, my Discord is right there in my links, in my description links. Your friends can find it if you want to. Free of charge for now. Get it while it's hot and free. at the same time. Get it quickly. People rushing at the gates to get themselves their Discord profiles. I don't know why I'm being so quiet. I think I'm heat exhausted a little bit. Like the scarf is now, at least at the point where it's touching me, is the same temperature as the rest of my body. So it's not cooling me down. It's just trapping heat. I'm in Discord. I just haven't stopped by in a minute. JV, good call. Bless. Yeah. If only laundering. If you have more than you did before, yeah. Google will happily take 35 to 40, no, 30 to 40% of my revenue. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Katie giving me bad advice. The Melbourne community is always willing to listen and perhaps help you with your struggles. We will, at the very least, try. I don't think we'll make promises that we'll be any good at it. I don't think we'll make promises that we are perfect. But we will try. We will be here for you once a day. Why? Because love is true. Clickety clickety. Love is. Hmm. Gajit? Gajit indeed. Getting to be the cool kitties. You wanna know what I called my little character? Since I am playing a Khajiit character, I named him Melt Meow. Melt Meow is his name. John's name is... I forgot. Something like Aspen, or like some sort of generic medication's name. I don't know why. And Max's name is Hangman. So Melt Meow. Broken hearts are usually just dehydrated. We can usually get them things pumping again. My heart feels a little bit dehydrated right now as well, dude. I'm thirsty. I haven't drank some water in a while. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself feel the light and pressure of our affection. Get used to it. Joe, got the local waters to help, of course. My love and peeps, I'm heading out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bless. It was nice having you here, Katie. We will surely see you soon. At some point. Happy trails, peace. Also, Melt Meow. Let's suck them dried our hearts in water of love and kindness, and they pump right up like space food. Exactly, like that Tom and Jerry scene with the space food. That exact one. All of my stuff are in my baggers. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this first. Yep. Yeah, Joe. At first, pure affection feels like too much when you're all dried up. Yeah, instead of soaking it all up, you just float. Right? You dissociate. You separate yourself. Instead of just realizing that it is what you want. Love. Just for the sake of being seen in this world. And then we dissociate. We believe ourselves not. Alrighty. I'm gonna get myself set up back here. I don't know if this is gonna be cool. Probably not. But it will be shaded. Nice. It is hot. If I haven't let you know yet, I'll let you know that it is very hot right now. I'm gonna get my comments up. All right. I think I have read most of the comments. Dota. Dota. I'm listening to that conversation as well. They, John, Max, play League of Legends. They have been since they were like 14. I played Dota. I used to since I was like 14. And they want me to play League of Legends with them. And I'm like, no, I'm not playing League of Legends. I'll play Dota maybe, but I stopped playing Dota because I don't like who I am when I play that game. And I don't think it's going to be any different playing that one. But they got me convinced with the whole Skyrim remodded. I feel Shell also has some impact of the influence. I thought it was pronounced Khajiit. Am I saying it incorrectly? Khajiit? Khajiit? Hot in South Africa. Worth testing out the consequences of soaking up the affection as well deserved. Just like a newborn baby deserves. So do you. Yeah, right? Like a newborn baby, when it's being fed and being taken care of, being rocked back and forth, isn't tripping themselves out with whether or not they deserve to be loved. Max is getting his little cigaretters. African heat. I don't know much. I could enjoy that fractal. You just have to be close to water, bro. You have to stay cool. You're gonna have to get a super suit. I'm gonna have to build a super suit. Something that keeps me cool. I'm gonna go and lay down for a bit, feeling overwhelmed this morning. Love you, friends. Take care of yourselves. Love you, Heather. Thank you for joining us. I'm gonna go get my cards, and then I'll read you a card, and then we'll say goodbye for today. Sound all right? Yeah. Since we pulled from the other deck yesterday, we'll pull from Sacred Geometry. Starlink freeze? I hope not. 666. Friends, don't let friends play League of Legends. Yeah. You hear that, Max and John? Friends, don't let friends play League of Legends.
That is very true. Very true.
I'm just like kind of joking. Like someone in chat said that. Like Giovanni in chat said that, so it's just like kind of hilarious. Yeah. Oh, love is true. Thank you for the donation as well. Right now I have 13, 4, so 134, 1777, and then 122, and it was just 11, but it's now 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
It's actually a good thing that you love Legends.
One quadruple two. Love is true. I'm gonna pull a card with you, friends.
No, not at all. All of those things.
This one. Red? There are elements of red, but it's I think more brown. It's like orange brown. Right? If this is I think this is orange, right? It's not yellow. Maybe this is more orange. Somewhere in the middle there. The cube. The hexahedron. Card number 22. I mean, you were very close. It's card number 21. Very close, Simon. Well done, dude. Lol and wow. Support groups are gonna be busting here in about 10 years or so. One goodness. No. Well, my comments disappeared before I could read it. One more time. Hexahedron. And then I'll read what it means. Substance. Order. stability. The fact that I'm laying against a brick wall right now makes me feel very stable. The hexahedron, or cube, with its 6 equal square faces, is one of the 5 three-dimensional shapes, commonly called the Platonic solids. The cube is associated with the masculine sides of our nature. I was talking about the compartmentalization today, right? Little boxes, little cubes. The masculine side of our nature and the element of earth. It is a symbol of matter, security, solidity, fairness, order, and stability. Choosing this card finds you seeking affirmation that the venture you are embarking upon or the project you are designing is in your best interest. Do you feel secure that your plans are in good order? Does the essence of your project have substance and stability? Do you feel there is fairness in the situation? If so, this card affirms your intention to move forward and indicates stability and good fortune. Occasionally, it takes stepping back out of the box in order to see the situation more clearly. Take a break, go for a swim, walk in the park, or head for the gym. Set aside your objective long enough to gain a fresh perspective. Now, look again at the substance of your inquiry with a refreshed attitude and realize the order in your manifestation. Yeah. What a card. What a card for today's stream topic, right? Expectations. Do I expect substance and order? Do I expect stability? Not always. I think I can cope with not having it. But I also like it, like excessively. So I think it's a matter of balance. Goodbye messages on y'all. Bubbly phalanges. Don't make good typers, but I lurky love and lose. Thank you. I'll do one. I'll auto-generate one from my brain noodles. The bards speak of the goodbye message. Hark, the message is leave yo. We done here. Everyone else wanna take a crack at putting their own spin on it. My favorite. Of your animals, Smasher Joe, Toodles Joe. I'm glad I stopped back today. I look forward to the days to come. Bless you, friend. Thank you for taking some time to spend some with us. Love is true. Thank you, dear friends. I hope you have the most delectable, absolutely juicy, so filled with substance and order, so filled with things that you can expect to be good. That this day brings you a sense of fulfillment, a deep sense of calm, and how stable you have found yourself. Grateful to have spent some time with friends. I love you. Everyone, thank you so much for spending some time. I'll see you again soon, tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.